time, let's talk to John in Georgia. John,
Yes.
We're talking to Eric and V. What would you like to talk about today?
How y'all doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Number one, V, you have a sexy name. And Eric, I'm glad to hear you're back on your meds.
Well, I appreciate that, John. How can we help you today?
Yes.
I can be sexy too.
Well, okay. Well, maybe you can, but living here in the South, we're into people who are, big time on the Bible and everything, of course. But when you read the Old Testament, you read stuff like 1 Samuel 15:3, where God himself orders the killing of children and babies.
Mm-hmm.
And that just kind of like, to me, like, you kill babies? Now, I have never heard the explanation to why it's okay for God to kill them. But I guess it would be God knows the future. He knows that those babies will grow up to go to hell because they'll kill those too. So he takes them out already. That doesn't make sense to me, but I wanted to get y'all's take on that. Have y'all ever heard any arguments, and what are y'all's rebuttals?
Yeah, good question. I've heard a bunch of different arguments to that, and none of them have really sat well with me. One is kind of similar to what you were saying. God knows the future, and he knows that they would grow up to be bad people, so he kills them before they can be bad people so that they can go to heaven anyway, which to me is weird, because that doesn't really justify killing innocent children. And secondly, okay, so if it is indeed a blessing to be killed as an infant, if you're going to be a bad person later in life, why not just do that to everybody? And then why are there humans at all? Like, can we all just like not even exist and go straight to heaven? Like, is that an option? Why are we here? So that opens up lots of other questions. Another explanation that I've been given on this show, even in the last few weeks, has been God has a right to, because he also created those babies. And so because he created the babies, he gets to kill the babies. And that's also problematic. And the explanation that they use a lot of the time is, well, if you're an author and you write a book and you kill the character in the book, nobody blames you because you created the character and you're the author and it's a book. So, you didn't actually commit murder. But the concern there becomes, well, those book characters are words on a page, right? They're not conscious living beings. The second that a book character can become conscious, killing that book character becomes a whole lot more morally ambiguous. So those are the two biggest explanations or excuses that I've gotten, and kind of where I fall on responding to those. Eric, how about you?
You took the words out of my mouth. I really don't have much to add other than rephrasing things that you've said. So I'm just going to go, yes.
Yeah, V, that was a great explanation. I loved it too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hopefully that helps.
It does. Thanks for the call. And
Thank you,
get more people in.
Thank you, John.
Will do.